It was a quiet morning on the ranch, or at least it should have been. The sun was climbing over the hills, casting long shadows across the pastures, and I was checking the northern fence line when I noticed the HOA president herself walking briskly toward the main gate. She had that familiar scowl that meant trouble, the kind of look that said she believed the world owed her obedience. I straightened immediately, knowing she wasn't here for a friendly visit. "Good morning," I called, trying to keep my tone neutral. "Out of my way," she snapped, ignoring pleasantries entirely. "I need access to your property. You can't deny me." I raised an eyebrow. "Access? You mean trespassing? This is private property." She huffed, throwing her arms in the air. "I'm the HOA president. I have the authority to inspect property whenever I see fit. Step aside, or I'm calling the cops." I stood firm. "You may have a title, but titles don't give you the right to violate my land." Her face twisted in rage, and she stormed closer. "I will not be blocked," she yelled. She reached for her phone as if to summon backup, but I noticed the hesitation in her steps. For some reason, she hadn't fully counted on the pushback she would get. That's when Jake stepped forward, calm but unyielding. His presence was enough to make even the most confident person pause. "If you cross this line, you're trespassing," he said. His tone was calm, almost chilling, but carried the unmistakable weight of someone trained to enforce boundaries, by force if necessary. The president sneered. "You're just a kid. You don't scare me." Jake didn't flinch. Instead, he shifted slightly, positioning himself between her and the barn. Every muscle was tensed, ready for any sudden move. He didn't have to say a word. The look in his eyes was warning enough. I stayed back, watching the tension escalate. "Let's keep this civil," I said firmly, though my heartbeat had accelerated. "You leave now or we escalate." She laughed, a harsh, bitter sound. "Escalate? What can you possibly do?" That was the exact moment she learned her miscalculation. Jake stepped forward another pace, his hand resting lightly on his belt, not reaching for anything, just signaling readiness. "Try me," he said quietly, and for a moment, the air seemed to freeze. She blinked, then cursed under her breath. Clearly, she hadn't expected resistance from someone so young, someone so capable. She waved her phone in the air, probably thinking she could intimidate us by calling the local authorities. Jake's eyes followed her every movement, calculated, precise. Then she made a fateful step forward. That's when Jake, without a second of hesitation, took control. He moved with speed and precision, positioning himself between her and the gate, forcing her to stop. The scowl on her face faltered for the briefest instant. He didn't touch her. He didn't even raise his voice. His presence alone made her realize that today, she was powerless. "You're leaving," Jake said. "Now. This is private property. If you return without permission, I guarantee consequences." Her hands trembled as she fumbled with her phone, realizing that any call she made would be documented. The security cameras captured every moment. The way she stormed, the way she faltered, the way Jake's calm authority had turned her rage into hesitation. Finally, she spun around and stomped back toward her car, muttering threats under her breath. I exhaled slowly, my chest tight with adrenaline, but a proud smile tugged at my lips. "Nice work," I said to Jake once she was out of sight. He nodded, his expression calm, but I could see the focus still lingering in his eyes. "She won't be back," he said quietly. Grandpa appeared then, leaning on his cane, shaking his head. "These HOA people are lucky I wasn't here," he muttered. "If they think they can just walk in," he trailed off, laughing under his breath. By evening, we reviewed the footage, sending a copy to our lawyer and storing another copy securely. The HOA president had learned a lesson the hard way. Titles and authority mean nothing on private property when the owner and his trained family are prepared. The ranch returned to its usual calm as the sun set, casting golden reflections across the lake. But the knowledge that we had defended our land with nothing more than presence, strategy, and training left a lingering sense of satisfaction. In this house, on this land, the rules were ours. and anyone foolish enough to challenge them would quickly learn that.